When I watched Jurassic World Rebirth, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Definitely a 7 out of 10. It had its problems, but I thought it was a step in the right direction. Much better than...
You made a promise to a dinosaur. Yeah.
They're alive. Like me.
He slid into my DMs.
Nobody said there'd be bugs.
Yeah, me too. But what intrigued me the most was the dinosaur who doesn't even look like a dinosaur, also known as the Indominus Rex. He seems pretty powerful, but you know who else is powerful? Today, I will be putting the Indominus against the D-Rex to see who would win in a hypothetical battle. And I know you might have seen many battles like this before. But you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. The categories I will use will be strength, speed, durability, battle IQ in combat, and finally, AP. Don't forget to subscribe so I can make more battles like this. So let's get started with strength. For starters, the D-Rex was shown to have significant strength after it yeeted a helicopter, but how powerful was this throw? Well, the helicopter that was shown was either a Eurocopter AS-365 Dolphin or an HH-65A Dolphin. I will go with the second one because in my opinion it looks more like it, which has an empty weight of 6,092 pounds or 2,763 kilograms, and we can estimate the D-Rex threw it at 50 meters or so based on the size of the helicopter, in only 1.25 seconds for when it was in the air until it hit the ground. So we need to find the overall velocity of the helicopter being thrown, which is the square root of the horizontal velocity squared plus the vertical velocity squared, which gets us 40.47 meters per second. If we plug these numbers into the energy equation, it gives us 2,262,649 joules. That is a lot, but we need to know the amount of force it takes. And we need to know mass times acceleration. And our acceleration is change in velocity over time, which gives us 32.38 meters per second squared, and multiply it by 2,763 kilograms, that gives us 89,465.94 newtons, or 20,112 pounds of force, or about 10 tons of force. And with only one arm, that is crazy. For Indominus' strength, she outstrengths Rexy, and an older Rexy is able to move and slightly throw Giganotosaurus, who weighs 9 tons. Overall, I think we can all agree that the D-Rex takes strength here. Now let's move on to speed. For Indominus' speed, she can travel 30 miles per hour, which I believe it. She seems to be running pretty fast. While the D-Rex, the D-Rex itself doesn't have too many durability feats, but wait, where are the helicopter blades? He didn't. Nah. We have to assume that the D-Rex must have eaten the blades. No, that sounds stupid. More importantly, been hit by the blades. The HH-65A Dolphin's blades have a diameter of 39 feet, meaning it has a radius of 5.94 meters, and with a rotor speed of 349 revolutions per minute, we can calculate the angular velocity to 36.53 radians per second, and multiplying that with the radius, that means the blades have a linear velocity of 217 meters per second. Well, technically it's 216.9882. But who's counting, me or you? If we plug that into the energy equation and estimate the blades to be 50 kilograms, that gives us a whopping 1,177,225 joules, or 1.18 megajoules, multiple times, most likely in a matter of seconds. For Indominus' durability, she tanked a hit from an Ankylosaurus very easily. Now, the tails club of an Ankylosaurus effective mass is 100 to 300 kilograms, so let's go in the middle with 200 kilograms. The swing radius is 3 meters. Angular velocity is roughly 5 radians per second. The linear velocity is the angular velocity times the distance from the axis of rotation, which is 15. Now with the kinetic energy formula of 1/2 of the mass times the velocity squared, gets us 22,500 joules. The Ankylosaurus also damaged the gyrosphere, which can withstand a 50 caliber bullet, and a 50 caliber bullet would produce about 19,000 joules. The Indominus was also sent through multiple buildings and took many bites from Rexy, Blue, and the Mosasaurus. The Mosasaurus bite force is 233,000 newtons, and with a displacement of 0.08 meters, that would be 233,000 times 0.08, which is 18,600 joules, and the Mosasaurus bit Indominus 3 times. The Indominus also survived an M136 AT-4 rocket launcher to the side. The M136 AT-4 rocket launcher used a sharp charged warhead with about 440 grams of explosive. 1 gram of explosive is equal to 4,184 joules, which means altogether, the rocket launcher produced 1,825,120 joules. If we assume 20% of it hit the Indominus, that would be 365,024 joules. The Indominus was knocked over and took about 9.41 seconds to recover. Based off of feats, I have to give durability to the D-Rex for this one. As for battle IQ in combat, the Indominus goes for Rexy's head to pin it down so that Rexy can't bite her, since she knows that Rexy's teeth are the biggest threat to her. She also targets Rexy's neck because it's a weak point, plus it keeps the head down. She also found a way around the Ankylosaurus's armor by tipping it over and going for the head. Despite having a really big head, the D-Rex just stands there and walks around. Enough said. The best feat we have for the D-Rex is being able to stop a car instantly with only his giant arm. The car shown seems like a Jeep, and whenever I research it, sources will usually tell me that it's a Jeep Wrangler 4xe plug-in hybrid. This car weighs at least 5,100 pounds or 2,313 kilograms and was traveling either between 25 to 45 miles per hour. And this dude stopped it instantly. No, I mean literally instantly. So to find the deceleration, it's the change in velocity over the change in time. And if we convert our miles per hour to meters per second, that gives us an acceleration of 52.86 to 95.71 meters per second squared. And mass times acceleration for force ends up being 171,833 newtons, or 38,630 pounds of force. That is a crazy punch. And if we were to convert that into energy, the D-Rex would hypothetically tank 281,446 joules. Not as much as the helicopter blades, but still. Although that wouldn't really be super plausible, since hypothetically the D-Rex punches the top of the car, not the center of it, or just standing in front of it, also not counting for the weight. And for the Indominus's AP, she's able to break the gyrosphere, which can withstand a 50 caliber bullet, and also can take Rexy down after a few bites. Overall, I give the greater attack power to the D-Rex. So overall, I have the D-Rex winning. So, pretty close fight, right? Well, not exactly. See, I refuse to believe that this D-Rex is the same as this D-Rex. Let me explain. The D-Rex is stated to be 26.5 feet tall, 47.5 feet long, and is estimated to weigh around 10 tons. Pretty big for a dinosaur, but not obnoxious. Then we have this, when he makes the helicopter look like a giant toy. The same helicopter that is said to be 38 feet long. By using the helicopter as a measuring point and the other posts, say the D-Rex is around 82 feet tall, 146 feet long, and 30 tons in this scene. That is only 22 feet short of reaching Kong from Skull Island, or the average length of a blue whale. So, there's only 3 reasons why this happened. 1, the D-Rex can manually change its size. 2, there's secretly 2 of them on the island. Or 3, the riders just do not care. My bet's probably on the first one. So, in my opinion, the Indominus would beat the one that was able to stop the car, but would lose to the Titan-sized dinosaur. So it depends on what most people define as the true D-Rex. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give me cool and easy to calculate suggestions and bye.